Two, one. We're live.
I'm Dr. The Herbin and Dr, and I'm taking it to the house.
And I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm taking it to the house. Man, I hope the tryptophan is off for you guys. You guys have slept it off already, okay? No more turkey. But what a day of Thanksgiving we had. Some good football. I don't know about you, but I was excited about last week. But I'm ahead of myself. Let me just wish y'all a happy holiday. I hope your Thanksgiving was great. Bruh, it was good spending some holiday time with you as well. How are you doing over there?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. The tryptophan is starting to wear off, but talk about turkey. There were some turkeys last week. You said you enjoyed the games. There's some turkey-like plays. There's some turkey-like decisions. It was gobbled up. I had to wait till the weekend before I can truly enjoy the football games, bro. Commish could have put some better games on. I know there's some guys, Detroit Lions, we already know, Dallas Cowboys. There's certain teams that have to be on, but you said you enjoyed it. Look, that was a turkey.
Well, let's talk about the AFC. Let's talk about the AFC, man. The cream usually rises to the top, and for the past two seasons, man, we have talked. Some people have discounted the Kansas City Chiefs, but if you ask me, you still got to mention the Kansas City Chiefs if you're going to mention the AFC. But are they the best team in the AFC? I beg to argue that they are not the best team. They may have a very good record, and I don't know if their record is indicative of how good of a team they are. But the Bills, you got to start the conversation off by talking about Josh Allen, the Bills, and what they're doing. Did you see that game last week, man, against 49ers? That looked fun. I don't know if you ever played it in mud or snow, but that looked like fun. And Josh Allen won the MVP last week when they played the 49ers.
I had the opportunity growing up on the East Coast in New York playing in the snow. We couldn't wait till the snow stopped. We go outside. Let's ball up, fellas. Let's get out there and do it. So it definitely brought back some nostalgia. But I still say, hold on a little bit. Hold on a
Uh-oh.
little bit, giving him the MVP. Look, recency bias. Hey, they looked great in one game. 4 weeks ago, we said Lamar. It was his. 5 weeks ago, we said it was Derrick Henry. 2 weeks ago, we said it was Saquon Barkley. Look, it's only week 13. There's 5 more weeks left to identify who will truly be the MVP because in everything that we just laid out, that all AFC guys, minus Saquon Barkley. So Josh did what he's supposed to do. He won at home. He did what he's supposed to do against a bad team. The Niners are not the team of old. They're dealing with injury. CMC couldn't show up. I mean, he came back off of Achilles tendonitis, and it looked like he blew out his Achilles, but they said it's a PCL injury. Debo's not the same. Look, they've been at it for the last 4 years, San Francisco. So, hey, Josh did what he's supposed to do. But listen, we always say there's 18 weeks in a regular season. And what did Patrick Mahomes tell Josh a couple weeks ago? I see it in a couple weeks. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And
All
I
right.
told you all a couple seasons ago, I'm not going against Patrick Mahomes. Unless they're
Okay.
playing against the Ravens, Patrick Mahomes will get the Tom Brady treatment from me. I'm not picking against that dude. Him and Andy Reid got something special. And Josh looked great in regular season. What happens when they go heads up in the postseason?
Well, you mentioned the Ravens. We got to talk about Tucker. We got to talk about these games that they should be winning. And we at one point in time we're talking about we're taking it to the house. Some people rise to the penthouse. Some people go to the outhouse. I'm saying, man, Tucker and Eberflus are in the outhouse right now. But speaking on the Ravens, what used to be automatic, Tucker, I don't care, 50, 60, 60 plus field goals, extra points, right side, left side, center. It did not matter. Indoors, outdoors, it didn't matter. Matter of fact, he was so automatic, he was highly sought after on everybody's fantasy team because he was going to get you some points. Matter of fact, I had him one time, he gave me 20 points. Who, as a kid, gives you 20 points, on a week, in a week? But I'm concerned about him, man. And I know you're a staunch Ravens fans. What's going on? What are they saying on the East Coast there in the Detroit, excuse me, the Baltimore area?
Hey man, the ride or die. I mean, but he is the native son. We love him. but I can't
Yeah.
say we're not nervous. It used
Yeah.
to be Tucker automatic. There's 4 out of 5 games he personally lost. I mean, yes, offense may not done what they need to do. Defense may, but when you look at 3 points plus another
Yeah.
3 points, that's 2 missed field goals plus an extra point, 7 points. We win this game.
Yeah.
We should not have to think about every week. Oh my goodness. If this missed field goal, if this missed extra point, we can actually lose the game.
Yeah.
And we normally say it doesn't come down to one play. It didn't. It came down to 3 plays, 2 missed field goals and an extra point. He has to wear that loss. He has to wear that loss, especially if we start playing more competitive teams. This could have been a Super Bowl preview.
Mm.
We're not going to score 40 points against a Super Bowl caliber team, a team that has a Saquon Barkley, a running back that can control the clock.
Yeah.
We had the most time of possession. You're not supposed to lose a game when you almost go 2-1 time possession. But understand their defense. These Super Bowl caliber team defenses are going to lock you down. So if Lamar gets you to the red zone and get you to the 30, it should be automatic. Hey, kicker, it's going to be a game of field goals and missed and capitalizing off of defensive mistakes. 2 weeks ago against the Steelers could only kick field goals and beat us.
And won. Yeah.
And beat us.
Yep.
So it definitely is a cause for concern. But if your quarterback's having a slump, your running back's having a slump, Tucker's won more games than lost for us. And it hurts. We got to ride it. We have to ride it because if they take them out, confidence is done. And from a leadership perspective, I put trust in you. This is your job. The team is looking, and I'm hoping the team is rallying around him because something is between the ears. He says mechanics. I could get mechanics 6 weeks ago. It's week 13. This is week 13. Like whatever issue you did not find out during preseason, you didn't find out during the off season, and you got 12 weeks, 13 weeks in regular season. You have not found out what's going on. Go back to whatever you're doing before. Figure that stuff out next season. But this next 6 weeks is important. And I do have a fear now. I can't just automatically say, hey, all right, he's got this. It's definitely concerning.
Number one, I love me some Tucker. I love me some Tucker, man. He's got to be a brother. He's got some blood in him somewhere. You know, he's got one of us. He acts like one of us. He got that swag. You know, he's just not your normal everyday white guy. He's that dude, and I love him for his swag. And I think already he's a Hall of Famer. You know, and you said how good he's here. I think the end is near, and so. He's going to have to fix this like ASAP because everybody knows this is a win and loss league. So he's going to have to put it together. And being so critical right now, we talked about it. The Ravens were on that Super Bowl march and apparently could not be stopped. And still, if you ask me, can't be stopped except for by themselves. And that's got to be frustrating as a fan and even as players. You have all these games within your own grips and you lose them. And it's little stuff, it's minor stuff, and it starts adding up. So Tucker, to me, it's going to be a strategic, it's going to affect strategy. It's going to affect ball placement, ball movement, plays that are called. Because you want to, and for the public, you're going to say, man, he's my guy. Yes, you're going to say that. And privately, you may even say that to him. You're my guy. But when you're alone as coach, you're saying, damn, I don't know if I can count on him. And so coaches have to make those tough decisions. It's like, do I go for it on 4th down? What play do I call on the 3rd down to even make it even better chance for him to make it? And or do I just, it's strategy, it's tactics, it's in-game management that you have to account for where one time you did not have to worry about it. We can spot the ball at the 45, at the 40. We'll line them up, kick it. Cool. We can counter these 3 points. We can go on to the next play. But now he has to think about it now. He has to consider it. And like every other coach. And so strategy, it's going to me, it's going to affect strategy. It's another layer of stress no coach wants.
I concur. And the implied or the unexpected, unintended consequence when he does go forward on 4th and 2.
Right.
4th and 3.
Right.
does that create that psychological second guessing for Justin Tucker? Say, wow, the team would normally give me the opportunity.
Right.
Why are they going for it now?
Right.
Does Lamar press a little bit more to make sure that third down is more effective?
Right.
Does Derrick Henry
That,
press a little bit more because they say we don't want to place it in the kicker's hands? We want to
right.
protect him from himself, but now as a team, as a skill players, as the coaching calls, do they now overcompensate and
Right.
press hard? So I definitely can see the domino impact
Right.
on each person while they're trying to protect his psyche. At the
Yeah.
same time, does it hurt his psyche when it could have been as a normal nod? Harbaugh wants to go for it on 4th and 3 because he just wants to go for 4th and 3.
Right.
Does that
Right.
now create a second doubt in Justin Tucker's mind?
Rack and stack them. AFC. Give me 1, 2, and 3. Who are they?
1, 2, and 3. Chiefs,
Ooh.
Buffalo, and Baltimore. All right, let's go. Okay, Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Baltimore. That's it. That's top 4, bro. I gave top 4. I had to throw the Bill. I had to throw Buffalo. I had to throw my boys in there. They're not top 3. They're number 4.
Okay.
And I had to be objective, bro. I gave the Steelers their love.
I tell you, and I like your listing there, your ranking, and I'm not even going to discount it at all. What I will add, the AFC, nobody wants to go to Buffalo in the cold. Man, having home field advantage will matter. Now, Kansas City can play in the cold. They have proven that. But it seems to be a little bit different up there in Bills Mafia in Buffalo. Home field advantage will matter. And I think home field advantage will determine who the AFC Super Bowl representative will be. So I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with Chiefs because it's hard to go against Mahomes. It's hard to go against Andy Reid. The Bills are not there just yet. Not like Maxwell Smart used to say, just by that much. They're close. They are close. However, I want to say the better team, to me, are the Bills all the way around, offense, defense, special teams. But when you talk about coach to coach, quarterback to quarterback, ooh wee, that's when it starts getting dicey. That's when you start looking at resume, and that's when you want to compare, your resume against my resume. And so, yeah, if we're in the restroom and you look over and mine is a little bit larger than yours, the Chiefs, the Chiefs the Chiefs are a little bit larger than, yeah. Oh my God. NFC, brother. Let's go to the NFC. Lions are the beasts. I don't know if anybody else really can stack up against the Lions, man. What say you?
Lions look angry. I love their play. They literally are playing as if someone hurt their feelings. They are literally playing as if they are the worst team in the league, and they're trying to prove the little brother, I can play, a big brother, I can play. Like, I love watching them. They
Yes.
play angry. They play fierce. They play as if they were that team in the NFC Championship game last year and lost. They play like they left something on the field. And I love it. I love it. And dare I say, they will be in the NFC Championship game and they will play the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will beat the Philadelphia Eagles because they have heart. There has not been one game this season where we question Detroit's love, tenacity, drive, intensity, commitment. Not one week. There's been times we say, "Oh, is Sirianni going to be here? What's going on?" No. Hey, who's that? And so definitely, it's Detroit's conference to lose. That's how bold I am on that one. What do you say?
Yeah. So if I were to rack and stack, it'll only be those two teams, and you just mentioned them. As the season goes on, again, the cream rises to the top. and you look for flaws, you look for strength, you look for weaknesses, and there are less weaknesses for Philadelphia as well as the Lions. That will be a great NFC championship game. Those two, where Philadelphia, again, not too long ago, they were tasting the champagne of a Super Bowl. But it's something about like the old commercial, being hurt, but we try harder. We're maybe second best, but we try harder. They play like they have no respect. They play, talk about the Lions now. They play as though old Rodney Dangerfield, they have no respect and they're coming after you. I don't think the Vikings are that serious because Sam Darnold can't take him. You don't know which Sam Darnold's going to show up. They have a very good coach. They have a very good defense, but lacking consistency. But that consistency that you're talking about with Detroit, from kickoff to triple zeros, they keep coming. They will run up the score. They don't care about your feelings. This is not a participation trophy. If you want to beat me, you want to stop me, do something about it. It's a grown man game, and that's how they're coming at you. You lace them up, I lace them up. Let's hit heads. Let's go. That's how Detroit comes at you. And I love it. They are the bully on the block. And the only way to beat a bully is to beat a bully. You got to hit him back. And I don't see that. I don't see slapback from anybody else except for Philadelphia, who are known to throw snowballs at Santa Claus. So they can do it. Philadelphia can do it. But can you call it? I can't call it. It's too early. There's a lot of football left. But I won't rack and stack. I won't mention a third team. I won't mention, yes, I guess I did, Minnesota. You got Seattle, you got Arizona out there, you got Green Bay. But if you want to take this serious, it's only two teams. It's Philly and it's Detroit. What say you, sir?
I'm with you. And not only that, the reason why Detroit plays mad, just think about it when we grew up. Detroit, for 50 years, they get their ass kicked, been picked on. They're the kid now that comes to the high school reunion, all swole like, you want some? I'm taking people's teeth. I ain't taking lunch money. I'm taking people's teeth. I got a medallion now with teeth. I got your girlfriend's number. I got your mama's number. Look, I am that dude. Like, they have been getting their ass handed to them.
Right.
And they're like, I took notes. I got receipts. And I'm coming every week. You're going to feel this. Do you remember the movie Goodfellas?
Yeah.
When they were in the bar and Joe Pesci's character and he's sitting there drinking, and one of the old Dons says, "Hey, good to see you again." He's like, "All right, that good." He said, "Now, you still shining shoes?" He's like, "Dude, that ain't me no more. I ain't shining no more shoes." He's like, "Hey, okay, joke's over, because he's a made guy now."
Yeah.
And he says, "All right, hey, no, okay, my bad." He said, "Now," he takes another drink. "Now go shine my freaking shoes." And Joe Pesci goes off and beats this dude down and kills him. That's Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions is Joe Pesci's character. Like, I ain't shining my shoes no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You what? And every week they making them pay. So, like you said, it's a two-man race. It's a two-team race. No one in NFC West, now that San Francisco is in rebuilding mode and getting ready for next year, no one in NFC West scares me. Rams don't scare me. Seattle don't scare me. Arizona don't know who they want to be. NFC South, it looked great for a while. I thought Atlanta was going to do their thing. But looked like Kirk Cousins, they turned into a pumpkin. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay, looked great, but he lost his weapons. No one else in the South, what, Saints? No. Carolina, please. So they're done. NFC North, the Packers, which week do they want to be? Chicago is who we always thought they were.
Yeah.
And so it's Detroit, a hands down favorite.
Yeah.
And then in the NFC East, you got to go with Philly. Is it Washington? Are they fizzling out? They're number 2 team in their division. I know Dallas and New York Giants are nothing. So it's going to be very interesting in the NFC. You got to have 6 to 8 teams that's going to represent to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's only two that's really quality teams that's going to get the bye, and everyone else is just there. They're just, they're the plus ones.
Let's talk about C-Mac, man, that injury, and let's talk about the 49ers, just real brief, wrapping up football. Um, PCL injury, you talked about, but the fall of the 49ers, what can you attribute it to? Is it injuries? Is it aging? Is it just not their year? Or is it just the league caught up to them? I wanted to know your take. And I know our producer is a huge 49er fan. Uh, but let's let's look at this 49er thing. Let's dissect it just a real brief.
I think it's more injuries. I would like to think about the psychological and emotional toll it takes to get to the NFC Championship games, get to Super Bowls, and come away lost. Still got a solid Debo. Still got also George Kittles. Purdy is still on point. You got IU. You have CMC. All of them were plagued by injuries.
Yeah,
So I think that's the biggest thing, the injuries. But
yeah,
even before then, you had a couple weeks that CMC was out.
yeah,
Debo left the season hurt last year.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where you have a window, you need to hit it. And that's the thing. That's a snake bit. I hope they do not rebuild. They have still
Mm,
a solid core. It's just that bad year.
yeah,
But that's the same team that got us the Super Bowl last couple of years.
right.
But that's why I'm nervous when I start talking about the Ravens, because not every team will have a chance to get the AFC Championship game. Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl only 3 years ago, and it took an injury, and now his team is sorry, and he's not getting back this year.
Yeah.
So same thing, San Francisco, to get that lucky to be that deep into the playoffs the last 4 years, and now be snake bit with these injuries, and then you have to imagine what contracts will happen in our season. This may
Yeah.
not be the same team next year.
I I think it's injuries. Plus, I also think that it's hard to stay pat because everybody else is evolving, getting faster, getting better. If you're the top dog, everybody wants to beat you, and you add injuries, people are going to beat you. They're going to design their team and or to knock you down, knock you off. And so you look at Seattle, you look at Minnesota. Nobody was waiting. Arizona, for instance, and you talked about Baker Mayfield and his resurgence down there in Tampa Bay. They're not waiting for they don't feel sorry for San Francisco. Nobody does. Nobody does. They want you to be the lesser thans now. So I'm curious, what will and how will the 49ers retool? What will they do to get back to the top? Because this is almost a lost season, another loss. It's really a lost season, and it's hard to come back at this point because the injuries are still there, and their record still indicates that they're not even in the playoff race right now. And so I'm curious because I'm a closet 49er fan, how they will work going into next season because Purdy is going to want to get paid. You talk about Ayuk. He wanted to get paid. He sat out last season and he did get paid. What happened? Oh, he gets injured. He's out for the season. All of these things do impact. And, the salary cap does factor, especially once you start paying the quarterback. So I'm curious on how they will be able to retool and get back to where the 49ers way.
And John Lynch, I trust. It's been amazing to watch him transform as a GM. I do believe in Kyle Shanahan. Yes, he's been snake bitten from his Super Bowl collapses, the lead collapses, but I
Yeah.
do believe he's still a great coach. The team still respects them. We talk about Eberflus. Look,
Mm,
Shanahan's no Eberflus. He this guy is a genius. You look at his coaching tree. So it's just an off year for the Niners. It definitely hurts to
yeah.
watch because they are my favorite, my kid team growing up as a child. Uh,
Mm,
and like I said, I mean it's a California team on top of that. But
yeah.
it. What is the playoff without a Niner team? What's a
Mm,
playoff without a Niner team in it?
mm.
And then you just look at NFC overall. I mean, what's a playoff? Even though you love or hate the love or hate the Cowboys, you don't have the Niners nor the Cowboys. Kind of like, wow, what kind of
Right.
season this will be?
Right. Hey, man, before we close out, talk about that hit on Trevor Lawrence. You got to take vicious, dirty, not fair, 3-game suspension. What say you? And while you're gathering your thoughts, here's what I'm going to say. A quarterback has the opportunity to slide and get down. The moment a quarterback tries to fake, how's a DB going to let up? Was it what when you lead with a forearm? What's your intent? How do it looks bad, especially when he's concussed, when he's knocked out. All that looks bad. But let's just talk about the game itself. Patrick Mahomes, we have seen him. Looks like he's going to slide. Look like he's going to go out of bounds, and he doesn't do either. And so the DB is going to look shamed. He's going to look bad. And there's going to be film, and there's going to be replay, and there's Sports Center, and they're going to show Patrick Mahomes going for 30 yards or going out of bounds or getting that extra yard. Trevor Lawrence or every other quarterback, I don't want these guys getting hurt, but you are now a running back. Once you take the ball down, you are a running back. Maybe the guy, and I forget his name, it doesn't matter, but the defender, anytime you lead with a forearm to the head, yes, you can call that dirty. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when a quarterback acts as though he's sliding or going out of bounds and he doesn't. I know these guys are quick twitch. I'm talking about the DBs, defenders, and they have one job. And a quarterback coming around, they're licking their lips. A quarterback comes around that end or up the middle and he's running. I have one job, and mine is to enforce the rule of knocking him out. Really, knocking the quarterback out. And I just want him to do it legally. I think the quarterback has as much responsibility as the defender in that play. And I think we can overreact. I don't want a quarterback to be concussed. I don't want anybody being concussed or hurt. But the quarterback, to me, has responsibility, and we can't penalize a defender for just doing his job. We can penalize illegal hits, yes, but we cannot and should not penalize a player just doing his job.
I concur. I think what should happen, they outrule the slide. Once you pass the line of scrimmage, they outrule the slide. Last week, Caleb Williams was running towards the sideline, and then he kind of lightened up a little bit before stepping out and got blasted. I saw one week when Lamar Jackson looked like he's going out of bounds, and he did a shimmy, and he took off another 15. So I'm with you. All right, as a defender, there's so much has been regulated against the defender that it puts them at a disadvantage. Yeah. Even as the bang plays, the receiver goes down at the last minute, the defender's going in with the shoulder, but because the receiver goes down, his helmet hits their helmet, not a calling helmet to helmet. Right. So there's so much. I mean, it is so quick. Right. And so without knowing intent of the defender against Trevor Lawrence, I'm with you. If you run out the pocket, you're now a runner. Not many running backs are running and then they slide. So you have to find a way. You can't. The reason why I say maybe they outrule the sliding pass line of scrimmage is because now you're outside that pocket, you're running, you either go out of bounds or you're gonna take the hit. Right. Does that stop a Tua from running outside the pocket? Does it stop those guys who are non-runners scrambling? You get out of bounds. Right. Because if you do the fake, you can't regulate the fake. Right. Hey, don't act as if you're gonna slide and you don't, because the defender is gonna pull up. And now the quarterbacks are playing that to their advantage, knowing that you're going to pull up. They don't want the late hit on the quarterback. Then you take another 15, 20 yards down. Yeah. So you're right. No one wants to see the quarterbacks get hurt. We know they're the star player. But also, how are we regulating to protect the defender in that situation? So perhaps something radical again, like, no, once you pass the line of scrimmage, you're running. You're running, something like that. So now that also kind of balances the table for defenders, because there's not everyone's a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes who can run outside the pocket and be effective. So Trevor Lawrence, that's not where you go. Throw the ball away and keep it going. But it is definitely sad to see the fencing. That's scary, man.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, man. We were supposed to talk about basketball, but I got a salty taste in my mouth. I think the Lakers got beat by 100 tonight, and I don't want to talk about no basketball other than it's on. Basketball is on. But I will say this, man. It was a joy last week and spending that Thanksgiving with you. And it's a joy spending this time with you, our fans. If you're tuned in, we want to wish you guys a happy and safe holiday. It is that season. I don't know if you have a Christian walk. I don't know what your Christian responsibility. I don't know if you believe in Christ, but I do. And I believe let's keep in Christ in Christmas, okay? And just be safe. I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm taking it to the house. And I'm out.
Happy holidays as we get ready for this most wonderful time of the year. Hey, hit us up on X, Facebook, Instagram. Just take care. Be safe this holiday season. Love hearing from you all. A lot of great football. Didn't get to talk about college football playoffs that's happening this weekend. A lot of great games. So next week we'll be excited to talk with you all. Hit us up in the meantime. Love you all. Dr. Vic Herbin, I'm out.